Ladies and gentlemen, heels and heelettes, welcome back to another edition of Blunt Impact. I am your boy, Chris G, along with my co-host, as usual, Mary Jane. We hope everybody is making the best of their situation, quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it. We're out here, we're staying home, we're saving lives. It's the most important thing. Thankfully, we still have wrestling. Impact Wrestling has been putting out empty arena shows. I wasn't sure what they were going to do after Rebellion, but looks like they're going to continue giving us weekly television with empty arena shows, which is fine with me as long as the action is good. So today we'll be reviewing the, I don't even know what day today is. What's today's date? Review the 5th episode of Blunt Impact. We've just been smoking so much and I lose track of time. Sorry, guys. So, when you guys are ready, I'm ready. When I count to 3, I'm going to light my blunt. I hope you light yours, joint, whatever. Let's dive into this episode on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. First we start off with a recap of both nights of Rebellion, which wasn't a bad pay-per-view. If you would have had it in one card, would have been decent. Separated into 2 nights, I think one night really outshined night 2. But I'm excited to see where all the storylines go. Seems like there's going to be a lot of new, fresh beginnings for people. The Impact intro is interrupted by Sami Callihan. And he comes out and says, you know, he went toe-to-toe with Ken Shamrock. But he didn't tap out. Shamrock didn't make him tap. And, I mean, this guy he's one of the kings of the promos right now, especially for a heel. Nobody can really, there's no crowd there. But as an audience on television, I'm still captivated whenever he speaks because he speaks with such conviction. His character means something. So, yes, I am a guy. I'm a Sami guy. We are joined in commentary by Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne, who get better every week. This week was no different. They just gel really good. Madison Rayne's a really good heel commentator, and Josh Matthews is Josh Matthews. He's not bad. He's one of the more underrated play-by-play guys. Back to Sami. Sami calls out Ken Shamrock. Basically says, you know, I want to do this again. Shamrock comes out and says, listen, we got 2 options. Either we go outside again, or we both go after the Impact World title, you know, respect each other as men, and let's have a handshake. So as he offers his head, Michael Elgin comes out and says he's the actual world champ because Eddie Edwards and Tessa didn't show up to Rebellion last week. So that default makes him champ. Not my words, right? This leads into a little brawl. Eventually, you have a Sami and Ken Shamrock sort of double team on Michael Elgin where Elgin gets away just a little bit. Just slightly, just gets away. Find out later that there's going to be a tournament for the Impact, for the number 1 contender for the Impact's world title. So Tessa will have a match against this winner. So we'll see who this winner is in the next few weeks. By the way, Michael Elgin came out in playoff 12s. That's what I'm talking about, son. Next, Chris Bay has a backstage promo, and he's talking about how he got himself a number 1 contenders match at Willie Mack, the X Division champion. Then Willie Mack cuts a promo outside, talking about Chris Bay likes to finesse this, finesse that, but Willie Mack is going to finesse his foot up his ass. It made me chuckle. If you would see how awkward Willie Mack kind of is in his promos, but he gets that line out so perfect because he's like used to saying it. Like, just let him say he's going to finesse his foot in people's ass all the time. Why not? Anyway, he's still high from Rich Swann's party because they went out and celebrated. But he's good to go and he's happy to be X Division champion. Next up, we had OVE versus Triple XL. OVE was comprised of Dave Christ and, it was Jake Christ and Madman Fulton, who I'm kind of high on, you know. See a lot of potential in him. This match was slow. Kind of what was expected. You have 3 big men who just hit each other with powerful moves. Even though Larry D and AC Romero can, you know, pull out a high spot here and there. It's basically AC just getting beat up for a while. Larry D makes the hot tag. He gets the better of, I believe, Jake Christ. And guess who wins? Guess who fucking loses again? Guess who takes the fucking L once again? Not me, because I'm fucking done with them. Throw OVE away. Throw the whole fucking state of Ohio away. That's it. That's how upset I am at OVE. This is what they are now. Fuck them. Madman Fulton's eye. The rest of them, the Chris brothers, fuck them. OVE as a whole, fuck them. I'm tired of seeing them lose. But, there is a but. I think they're gearing up, because they tease it in the commentary, to find a new leader. So we'll see who the new leader of OVE is. I'm still intrigued with them. They're not bad. They just fucking lose a lot. Whatever, pal. Then we get the flashback moment, Impact flashback moment, and it's from Victory Road 2009, which was Mick Foley and Kurt Angle. Which was probably a pretty good match in 2009. Kurt Angle was fucking jacked at that point, but yo, he has the most uneven tan in that match ever. His whole half of upper body, he looks like me. And then his legs, it just looks like he was swimming in fucking glue in a sauna or just walking around. Like he got some pasty thighs, yo. Macho Man would be ashamed. Anyway, Kurt Angle makes Mick Foley tap. Whatever. I might actually go back and watch that. Next up, we have a locker room talk segment, which is Madison Rayne's talk show with Johnny Jabroni, a.k.a. Johnny Swinger. I'm sorry. Who I actually like as a character. Just don't fucking want to see him wrestle. But he's a funny character. He's doing his creepy old shtick and yeah, baby. He's all oiled up with his tatas out. Come on, son. But their guest is Havoc. She gives me a young Adele vibe. She's pretty. She's a big woman. She's pretty. She's like Adele if she ate a box of fucking nails for breakfast every morning without any milk. She's just that hardcore. So Madison Rayne basically pokes her and asks her about who was the chick that they saw at Rebellion last week, which was Nevaeh, one of her old tag team partners at WoW. Or enemies, I don't know. But they know each other. So she brings out another person that she knows from her past. And her name is Kimber Lee. So that sets up a match for next week between Havoc and Kimber Lee. I'm sorry, the only Kimberly I liked was the Pink Ranger in 1990 whatever. So I'm going to have to go with Havoc next week. Just a prediction already. Next up, and this segment actually turned the tide for them. For me, they're starting to grow on me. But it's the Deaners. It was at the Deaners compound, which was like on the side of the road with this fucking RV. Cody's just chilling, drinking. He got a beer in his hand every time I see him. My man. But then, this motherfucker, he was having beers with wrestling action figures. And not good wrestling action figures. The ones that you could get sued off of on TV. He got the dollar store in Brooklyn ones. The little thumb ones. The guy looked like Seth Rollins, but his name was like Meth Fodgens. But he's telling people to self-isolate. His self-isolation is going great. They're starting to grow on me. The Deaners are starting to grow on me. Next up, we have Johnny Swinger versus Suicide. Why? Like, literally why? They're building up Suicide. Obviously, that's the win. They're building him up for an X Division Championship opportunity eventually, maybe. I don't know why. It's not the same Suicide. It's definitely not. It can't be TJP wrestling in that shit. There's no way. He looks so sloppy. TJP is pretty crisp in the ring. So I don't know who the fuck is Suicide. Next we have Ace Austin, and he's pretty fucking salty about losing the X Division Championship. He's like a City Field pretzel. Then he's even saltier because Chris Bay is getting the championship later tonight. Saltier. That's Yankee Stadium pretzel. So Ace Austin invokes his rematch clause in his contract, and he turns this match into a triple threat. So that will be the main event tonight. Next up, we have a Moose interview with Josh Matthews, and he has the TNA Heavyweight Championship. And him and Josh go back and forth about he's the TNA champion because he beat all the TNA legends. It makes him the real TNA champion. There's no world champion because Tessa's chilling in Mexico with Daga and not defending the belt. I get it. So Moose is carrying this TNA championship, which is maybe like an interim, but who knows, right? He was supposed to be in the tournament. for the number one contendership match for the world champion. He took himself out of the tournament because he's a champ already. For a defunct belt that he didn't win, he just claimed himself to have. You fucking lost me, Impact. I thought you were finally going to take Moose serious. Now you turn this guy into the joke. He's fucking passing up opportunities at championships, at more championships, because he found the old championship that doesn't even fucking work, even exist anymore. Come on, son. Anyway, I hope they have big things for him in the future, but he's going to defend it against Suicide next week. Yo, I am higher than Eagle Ass. Like, literally. I am hot balloon Mount Kilimanjaro sex high right now. I want to thank the Weed Man for being an essential worker. We need more of y'all. Anyway, Moose is fucking delusional. Next up, we had Joseph P. Ryan versus Jake Diener in a rematch. Again. Why? It was slow. It was basically a carbon copy of their match from last week. Little tweaks here and there. It wasn't the same exactly, but it was very similar. Working the shoulder. Joey Ryan steals the pin at the end. It's like, who gives a fuck? I need some quality wrestling at a time like this. Joey Ryan could actually have a decent match with this fucking Jake guy. Cousin Jake's actually not that bad. He's a big brute, got a good look. He moves good for somebody his size, but come on, man, just fucking, it's way too slow. Way too slow for my liking. Next up, we get a Kiera Hogan promo. She's talking about how she's from Atlanta, and she's the girl on fire. I mean, we seen her like a week or two ago. Do we really need a promo to like hype her back up? I just felt like, you know, let her disappear 2 or 3 weeks and then fucking have a promo and bring her back. Don't just have a promo because she lost. The fuck is that about? Next up, if you even want to call it a match, the North defended their tag team championships in Canada against a tag team named The Creeps. Now, the announcer for the shit had a great voice. He was hilarious. The shit he was saying, he was hyping it up crazy. Oh my God! Like Joey Styles Extreme. Yo, this one guy on The Creeps looked like fucking Ben Savage if he was a crackhead. Like, literally. He was like, he wasn't Boy Meets World. He was Boy Meets Crack. Then the other guy looked like a fucking love child between Macaulay Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg. Like, literally. The long blonde hair, but just Jesse Eisenberg's face. Same body type as both guys. But Ethan Page was fucking... Josh Alexander was down to business. He was just like, yo, you seriously making me do this? Like, let's just have this match, get this shit over with. Ethan Page fucking hugging mannequins, smacking them, talking about their fans. The other guy had a North shirt on. He fucking slapped him. Great. It was great shit. It was pretty funny. It was entertaining. Both of these guys have a lot of personality. Even Josh Alexander, because even though he's that straightforward, like, really, like, you can see in past episodes of Impact, he's brought out his personality. So, once again, as I say every week, one of the best tag teams in the world today. They get overlooked because they're on Impact, but they are one of the best tag teams in the world. Next up, we got Rosemary, and she's doing brujeria and voodoo and santeria and all the herias you could think of. She's doing talking tarot cards, fucking sacrificing fake bunnies. She's on some shit I don't want to get into. So we're just going to skip on to the next segment. If you live in New York City and you've had a Puerto Rican girlfriend in your life, whether it's current or ex, there is guaranteed one aunt or grandma in that family that practices that shit. No thanks, I'm good. Next up, we had a promo about my man, Rohit Raju, and apparently he's the only one left of the Desi Hit Squad. And nobody else holds him back. He's dolo, he's tired of being slapped, tired of being the whipping boy, tired of getting beat the fuck up every week, tired of being a joke. Tired of being a joke. So next week, he's in the tournament. He's going to try to get into the tournament, and he's going to prove that he belongs there. I'm actually a big fan of this. I think he could go. He's really good. Like, he's improved in the last 3 years because he started off green as fuck. And he's improved a lot. His character work is great. Very underrated. One of the most underrated people in Impact for sure. I hope he gets a mini push. You know, give him a win in the tournament. Then he loses second round. Like the Knicks. It's fine. It's fine. We build upon that. Last but not least, we have the main event. It is Willie Mack defending his X Division Championship against Chris Bey and Ace Austin. Match of the night. Even though it started off, it was hot right out the gate. You know, the bell didn't even start. They're beating each other up. Willie Mack doing his thing. Bam. Then it slows down. Everybody's just taking their turn, working each other over. Starts picking back up. Back and forth. Finally, Willie Mack gets the win. Defends the championship. He is still your X Division champion. This is good. The X Division looks good right now. Between Ace Austin, Willie Mack, Chris Bey. I'm sure they'll find a couple other guys to put in that division. It might be the most... I mean, it's definitely it's more exciting than the heavyweight division, in my opinion, right now. Especially when they have the X Division matches and shit like that. So, I'm excited to see what happens next week. I'm excited about this tournament. There's a lot of key names that I really can't tell you what they are right now. She can't tell you what it is either. But we'll definitely get into that next week. And we'll see who wins. We'll see who gets the motherfucking push, bro. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers if you're still out there working. Shit, you're working from home, you're Zooming. All those conference calls. Just be like, hey, go to YouTube and watch some True Heel Heat. You might enjoy it. Might fucking enjoy it. As you can tell, I got the jabroni curls coming in. Speaking of jabronis, joints and jabronis, I say it every fucking week. I apologize. I've been having technical difficulties that are solved. Guaranteed solved. You can follow me at spick_flair_woo! 3 O's. I hope everybody's staying home, staying safe. My condolences to anybody that might have lost family members to COVID-19. We must cherish this time with each other. Cherish the fact that we still have wrestling around. Because without wrestling, let's face it, I can't put this shit out. So, for my co-host, Mary Jane, I'm your boy, Chris G. I'll catch you next time.